Welcome to the Mind Your Self-Defense channel, brought to you by Rise Above Self-Defense. I'm your host, Andrew. Last week's episode, I was covering the shooting qualifications for Los Angeles County, and you guys seen the video of me actually shooting the test. I went down a CCW, or a concealed carry permit rabbit hole, and I started looking into other states' shooting requirements, and I wanted to give you guys some of the information I found. I did not go through all 50 states. I would say maybe about 25 states. I didn't go in any particular order. I did find some interesting things. I thought the Los Angeles County requirement was pretty simple. And then when I started looking in other states, it's not actually that bad. So let's get started. Arizona, Arkansas, and Wyoming are permitless carry states. Permanent carry and constitutional carry are the same thing. That means that you do not need a permit to carry the firearm. You can carry a firearm concealed on your body or open carry without a permit. I am not a lawyer, and I do not live in these states I'm talking about. You guys know I live in California. California requires a permit. So if you are going to carry a firearm in your state, make sure that you either talk to a lawyer or you go to your state's website and look at what you need to do to conceal carry a firearm in that state. All right, you are responsible to know the law. It's not the other way around. Not knowing the law is not an excuse, so you will be prosecuted if you do not know the law. So it's your job to learn the law and make sure that you abide by the law. So a lot of these permitless carry states also offer permits. So you can carry a permit. You can get a permit if you want to. One thing that I found out doing my research is a lot of these states offer what's called an enhanced permit. You could get a firearm permit for your city and your county, but the enhanced permit gives you more reciprocity for other states, where the regular permit does not. I didn't even know that existed. I thought one permit covered pretty much the whole state and other states, but it doesn't. If you're going to get a permit, I recommend you get the enhanced permit. This way, if you go to another state, you're protected. Your permit works in that state. We know the shooting that we did for the LA County. The California one for Los Angeles County, I shot it at 3 yards, 5 yards, and 7 yards. I had to do 24 shots at each distance for a total of 72 shots. For each distance, I had to get 17 out of 24 at each distance to qualify. Every state that I looked at, you need to get a 70 or more to pass. There's one state that I seen that requires a 72, and I believe it was Louisiana. I'm not sure. Like I said, look into your state and you'll find out what your shooting requirements are. So California was 3, 5, and 7 yards. Nevada was also 3, 5, and 7 yards, but it's 50 shots. So 50 rounds, 6 of them at 3 yards, 12 of them at 5 and 7. Texas, 3, 7, and 15. 3 yards, 7 yards, and 15 yards. 50 rounds, 20 of them at 3 yards, 20 of them at 7 and 10 shots at 15 yards. New York, 4 yards, 5 shots at an 11.25 and a half inch target. All the other states that I looked at required the B27 target, which is the one you guys seen me shooting for the Los Angeles County qualifications. Illinois, 5 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards. 10 rounds each. So you have to get 21 out of 30 yards. New Mexico, 3 yards, 7 yards, 15 yards. 15 rounds at 3 yards and 10 rounds at 7 yards. And 10 shots at 15 yards. Wyoming, it's between minimum 4 yards, maximum 15 yards, 50 rounds total. You have to get 40 rounds out of 50 to qualify on a 9-inch target. Mississippi is 3 yards and 7 yards and 25 rounds each. Louisiana, 2 yards, 3 yards, and 5 yards. Total of 36 shots, 12 rounds at each distance. Minnesota is minimum 5 yards, maximum 15 yards. It did not have a round count. Rhode Island, 50 rounds at 25 yards. To me, that's the most complicated one out of all of them. The farthest distance, too, that I've seen. I will be shooting that one the next range day. I go to the range in October. Now, Washington State, I couldn't find any requirements at all. I looked and I couldn't find any requirements, so I don't know what the requirements are. Oregon, Ohio, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Georgia, and Oklahoma are all instructor based, which I think is great. What that means is you do have a shooting qualification, but the instructor that you go to gets to set up what you need to qualify. That's why, like some of these, Minnesota has 5 yards to 15 yards. The instructor you go to could say, okay, we're going to shoot at 5 yards, we're going to shoot at 7 yards, we're going to shoot at 15 yards. Or he could say, we're going to shoot 50 rounds at 10 yards or whatever. The instructor gets to design the qualification, which I really like that. And there was a couple more states that offer that. Now, the instructors in those states, they do have to submit a curriculum to the state and to the county, and it has to get approved by either the sheriff or the police department or whoever gives out the permits to meet the minimum requirement that the state's asking. I like the fact that the instructor could set up the shooting qualification. This way the instructor can ensure that the student knows what they're doing. All of these states that I mentioned do require you taking a class. The class length varies. Some of them are 4 hours. Most of them are 8 hours. And some of them are 16 hours. In California, if it's your initial concealed carry permit class, you have to take 16 hours. And then for a renewal is 8 hours. A lot of the other states are either 4 to 8 hours, and they do require shooting requirements. Most of the states, there are some that do not have any shooting requirements. Like I said, if you're gonna get your CCW or your concealed carry permit in your state, go to your state's website and verify the requirements that you need to get that permit in that state so you can stay legal and protect yourself. I am going to shoot that Rhode Island one, 50 rounds at 25 yards. To me, I think 25 yards is a little far for self-defense. All right. I understand the 3, 5, and 7 because those are self-defense ranges. When you start getting to 25 yards, to me, that's no longer a self-defense range. I'm not saying you don't need to know how to shoot at that distance. Yes, you do. But for self-defense qualification, I think that's too far, my opinion. 15 yards is good. But 25 yards, and that's all you're shooting is 50 rounds at 25 yards. That's a marksmanship test for sure. But is it a self-defense distance? To me, it's not. All right. So I will be shooting that next time I go to the range in October. And I'll do a video and I'll show you guys. And then I'll actually shoot what I would have you guys shoot if I had the option, like the states that let the instructor test the student and qualify them. put my shooting test together for my qualifications that I would have people run so I could qualify them. All right. Yeah, but 3, 5, and 7 is pretty much the standard throughout the states that I've seen. One other thing is that you got to check the county that you live in, because like here in California, Los Angeles County has one shooting standard for the qualification, where Riverside County has another shooting standard, Kern County has another shooting standard, and then up north by Sacramento, they have in Costa County, they have another shooting standard. So you need to make sure that you check, you need to qualify in that particular county where you live in, or that city. Because if you live in a rural state that doesn't have a lot of cities in it, or real small cities, and it's a big county, you need to make sure that you qualify in that county. And that's one thing I've noticed when I was doing this research, that a lot of the states have the requirement, but each county or city also has their requirements. So you need to make sure that you fulfill the requirements for the city or the county that you live in, and also the state requirements. I wanted to let you guys know that November 1st, I am having a CCW skill builder course, and it's going to consist of a lot of holster work. We're going to be working on movement. We're going to be working on unorthodox shooting positions, so shooting from one knee, shooting from both knees, urban prone, and a lot of other stuff. We're also going to be shooting against a timer, and we want to improve your accuracy under pressure and scenarios and avoid you going to jail. You do not need a permit or a CCW for this class. So if you're going to be in the Los Angeles area November 1st, it is a Saturday, you're more than welcome to come and join us. Enrollment and details are on the website, www.riseaboveselfdefense.com. And remember, only you can unleash your inner badass.